Hey everybody, Clover here. So I'm at that point in my life where I'm in a limbo as to what I want to do to spend Spooky Month. But there's one way that everyone can use to have fun and get in the Halloween spirit, and that's Halloween specials and movies. This year I wanted to make an effort to watch more Halloween slash horror type stuff, and to be honest, I kind of did that. I don't know, I was pretty busy and still am, but I did manage to get in a few Halloween type movies and specials. I even made a list of the ones that I watched on Letterboxd. Yes, I have a Letterboxd. Y'all should follow me there. It gives you a bit of a sneak peek in stuff I've been watching. And I want to take this video to kind of go more in depth on my thoughts on these specials and movies, and hopefully persuade you to check a few of them out if you haven't already. The first movie I checked out was the Disney classic The Adventures of Ichabod Crane and Mr. Toad. I saw this one on the Disney Plus Halloween recommendations and have been missing out on 2D Disney movies for a while now. And yeah, I actually like this one a bit. The first segment with Mr. Toad definitely wasn't spooky, but it was a nice little mystery with these animals trying to save a historic manor. Weasel, Mole, and Badger were a nice trio, but Mr. Toad himself I found to be really unlikable. He doesn't listen to his friends at all, overspends all his money to essentially just party, and even at the end of the segment, he doesn't learn his lesson and instead jumps on a new mania. But the courtroom scene was pretty fun, and I really enjoyed the arc where they were taking back the manor from the ferret gang and the bartender. It kind of reminded me of something like The Rescuers. And then the Ichabod Crane segment, the actual spooky part of the movie, was pretty fine. I read the original story in English class a while ago, so I knew what to expect. The love story isn't anything special, and it's kinda sus that Ichabod is flirting with all his students' parents. There was also a weird amount of cartoony slapstick, but the actual chase scene with the Headless Horseman was amazing from an artistic perspective, as well as having a great score. Don't think I'll make this one a yearly watch, but I'm glad I checked it out. The next movie I watched was an A24 movie called Hereditary that I watched with a group of friends. One thing you should know about me is that I don't watch horror. So remember this as I tell you that this movie was absolutely terrifying. I'll try not to spoil too much, both because it's probably better to go in blind, and a lot of it would probably get me in some sort of content warning thing on YouTube. But this movie had me shaking and screaming more than any of my friends. Rather than cheap jump scares or gore, this one went for more psychological horror that plays with your mind. It's a type of film that you really want to pay attention to because the ending goes so outlandish that it kinda doesn't work for me. Yeah, it was a bit weird. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it though. But yeah, Hereditary was definitely a great experience at creating horror, and I think I'm only a little traumatized for it. Definitely check it out if you're into more horror based stuff. Next is Werewolf by Night. I know a lot of people are disappointed by recent MCU projects, and I can definitely see that. I'd say that this was a really good one, though. I appreciate how it had a lot more practical effects and real sets than the average CGI filled MCU project, and the characters were pretty fine, especially Ted, aka Man Thing. And the scene where the werewolf comes out and mauls everyone surprised me with how it actually had blood. And the inner turmoil of the character not wanting to was kind of gripping.
Please don't.
The only real problem with Werewolf by Night was that it was so short. Really, like, this world of underground mythological creatures and hunters is so interesting, and I would prefer to see more of it, and probably in color next time. The black and white thing was kind of novel, but I preferred the colors that we see later in it. So around this point in the month, the Owl House season 3 started, and the episode thanks to them was actually on Letterboxd briefly, so I'll include it here. The Owl House is my favorite show, so the hype alone made me happy with this one. But it's amazing how, even with only 44 minutes, Dana Terrace and her crew were able to pack in so much to this episode. Luz's depression and trauma from season two's events are so incredibly heartbreaking to watch, especially with how happy she started the series at. We also got a deeper look at Camila, her relationship with Luz and personal experiences as a mother and a person. And her going with Luz to the demon realm was really nice to see after what was promised in yesterday's lie. V was cute, even if I feel indifferent to the Visha ship. and the costumes in Haunted Hayride section were so slice of lifey and a nice break before the ending. And holy heck, Bellows Hunter is intimidating. That whole fight scene is one of the best scenes of the show so far, right up there with the Grom dance and Amity Hunter in a Close Lake. It's a great start to season 3, and I can't wait for the rest. Also, let me know if y'all want to hear me talk about this show more, because that'd be really cool. Let's see. Next is The Muppets Haunted Mansion. I've loved The Muppets all my life and experienced the modern era from its inception. This special, that also acted as a crossover with the Disney Haunted Mansion ride, was a fine little time. The songs were great, as all Muppet songs are, but out of all the Muppets to join Gonzo, why did they choose Pepe? I don't hate him or anything, he's just not that entertaining. And my guy Kermit was in it so little, that made me a little sad. Regardless, I still had fun with this one, because it's impossible to dislike the Muppets. I also watched The Scariest Story Ever, a Mickey Mouse Halloween Spooktacular, but I didn't log in until recently on Letterboxd. I enjoy the modern Mickey Mouse cartoons, and I appreciated how this one wasn't as over the top as something like the summer one was. This one was basically Baby's first treehouse of horror, and is exactly what you'd expect from something like this. Huey, Dewey, and Louie are there, wearing their Halloween costumes from the Trick or Treat short, and there was also these two obscure nephews of Mickey named Morty and Ferdy Mouse. That's really all that's worth mentioning. Next is Jordan Peele's Nope. I know a lot of people love this one and think it's one of the best of the year, and yeah, it's pretty good. After Hereditary, this didn't feel too scary, apart from the Gordy Rampage sequence, which was terrifying. OJ and Emerald's goal to save their dad's ranch is automatically relatable in the same way that the Belchers in the Bob's Burgers movie saving their restaurant is, meaning that I enjoyed it. I liked the tech support guy, and the aliens were interesting. I did watch this one late at night and was dozing off by the end, but I could tell that the design was really cool. This movie is probably the one with the most to unpack outside of maybe Hereditary, and I can't wait to like it more and more as I rewatch it. Finally was my yearly viewing of The Great Pumpkin and It's Magic Charlie Brown. I own a 2-pack DVD of these and watch them at least once every October. The Great Pumpkin is The Great Pumpkin. There's a reason it's a classic. But from how many times I've watched it, I noticed so many little things, like Lucy being on the cover of her TV guide and rocks being thrown into Charlie's bag. It's Magic Charlie Brown is just Snoopy learns magic and turns Charlie Brown invisible, and shenanigans ensue. It's not as good, but it has one of Charlie Brown's greatest moments, which, if you know the special, you know what it is. And it's a cool bit of continuity how Linus helps Lucy in It's Magic Charlie Brown, just like Lucy helped him at the end of The Great Pumpkin. And that's all I have to talk about. Yeah, it wasn't as much spooky stuff as I wanted, but a lot of fun little specials. Let me know in the comments some of your favorite Halloween classics, and maybe I'll keep them in mind for next year. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more stuff from me. Thanks for watching. Bye.